Big hello and welcome to all our viewers. Welcome to episode 6 of Chatar Patar with Anubhav. Now, in the intro to this show, you saw lots of different sports being covered, lots of different tournaments, glimpses of lots of different tournaments that we saw, and a man who has over 40 years of experience as a sports photographer who's covered various different tournaments, including the Olympics, the ICC Cricket World Cup, the T20 World Cup, and literally any big name tournament that you can think of, is my guest today, Mr. Sukumar. Sir, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yes, thank you so much, and good evening to you, Mr. Jain.
Thank you so much. So it's fantastic to have you. You know, typically we have athletes and sports persons on the show, but it's actually very good to have someone who's seen a lot of these athletes, the biggest of names within the sports domain at close quarters. And over the past 40 years or so, you've been covering various tournaments, major tournaments all over the world. And I'm pretty sure you have lots of stories in store for us on this episode of Chatar Patar with Anubhav. But before we actually get underway with some of the stories, I would love for you to actually introduce yourself, talk to the guests a bit about your background and how it all started for you as a photographer, because I believe you have a degree in BCom, right? So how did that pivot from BCom to sports photography take place? When did that take place and what prompted that?
Good evening, everyone. This is Sukumar. I started this about 40 years back. I started this photography as a hobbyist, and I continued it as a subsequently it became a profession, and finally it became my breath. Now I've been covering almost all international events like Olympics, ICC World Cup, FIFA World Cup, ICC T20, Asian Games, motorsports like MotoGP, etc., etc. And almost at one, I was working in a bank called Indian Overseas Bank before joining this, before taking this up as a full-time profession.
Right.
I was working in a bank called Indian Overseas Bank. Then I switched, took my VRS and started doing this on a full-time basis. And I should not mismention two names. That is, one is Mr. Srinkaram and the other one is Vijay, who were so instrumental in by getting me a camera that made me to this position right now.
Brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic, sir. So you talked about how you were starting out as a hobbyist, right? The one question that I love asking every professional, right, regardless of which domain that professional belongs to, is when did you see that shift from amateur to pro taking place? What was it? Was it one specific tournament? Was it one specific incident? Was it a gradual set of steps?
You know, every hobbyist will first take some small functions. Then only, after getting so much of exposure to, photo opportunities, then they shift to professional work. Within 5 years of mine, continuing to do a lot of amateur work, I started, following professional work.
Brilliant. And sir, you, of course, you mentioned some of the tournaments that you've covered. You've covered the FIFA World Cup 2010, 2014, 2018, the ICC Cricket World Cup, the T20 World Cup, the IPL, Under-19 World Cup, Olympic Games in 2008, 2012, 2016, US Open, Youth Olympics. You know, the list goes on and on and on. So definitely many feathers in your cap amongst all of these major big name tournaments that you've covered, right? Any one particular tournament or type of tournament that has probably left the most memorable impression upon you?
There are so many, not one. See, I've been covering cricket for a long time, since I was thrilled by the 1986 tie match, which was an historical one at the MH Stadium,
Right.
in England, Australia, on the 22nd of September. Right? Like that, there are many events, but I covered, in spite of all this, Sachin has. I have covered Sachin in many tournaments, international as well as national tournaments. But one picture of mine.
Yes, sir.
During his last Test match, that is, on his retiring match. It was a retiring match, a 200th match of his this one tenure.
That's right, sir.
There were, it was very difficult for me to get the accreditation because I've been waiting for the accreditation to reach me, but it did not come through. Then I had to go personally to Mumbai to get my accreditation. At the time, I could see a pile of requests in one room. It's a huge, pool of papers requesting to cover the Sachin's last that retiring match.
Right.
So I had to search my paper and give it to them for making it, preparing the accreditation for myself. And that became a great hit. For all the trouble I'd taken to go in person to Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai, and get the accreditation done there. Out of thousands of pictures from hundreds of photographers, he chose my picture to adorn his autobiography, known
Right.
as "It My Way." It gave it, so the first step to my great recognition.
So I was about to bring this up, as you rightly mentioned. Sachin chose one of your pictures to adorn the cover page of his autobiography, "Playing It My Way," as you rightly mentioned. You, of course, have a much stronger relationship with Sachin as well. He's seen you, in action from the sidelines over
Yes,
the years. Sachin, even
he's
if
a
I
very
if
simple and humble man, undoubtedly. But due to so much of fans on this one, he's unable to. Sometimes he'll be surrounded by gods and
right.
everything.
Right. But talking more about Sachin and talking more about your relationship with him, if I know this correctly, then look, I was taking a look at your website, right, and I was taking a look at the testimonials page that you have, and I saw so many beaming testimonials. But the two that really stood out for me, one was from Sania Mirza, and there's a picture of you right next to Sania Mirza as well, and the other one was with Sachin Tendulkar's recommendation to the government of India for you
Yes,
to be nominated for the Padma Award. So
yes.
it goes to show you, that's a testament to how strong a relationship you have with the
Yes.
Master Blaster,
You
with
know,
the great man.
it is from his heart he has recommended. I never expected him to write a letter like that. Actually, I requested him, but immediately it came on. Besides being a skillful photographer, he is an humble human being who is
Abs-
wholeheartedly devoted to the God and country. That is what those two lines are enough. That's much more than what I do.
Absolutely. I'm sure that must have meant a lot to you. And we were actually playing some of the images of Sachin during his final test match, his 200 test match, images that you took. So your originals while you were at the Wankhede Stadium. So tell me a bit more about.
Unfortunately, he was out for 74.
Right.
He was aspiring to complete 100. Sometimes, uh, actually, had I been the bowler, I would have allowed him to complete 100. There are some, people who will not uh, I mean, stop a guy from completing his 100. They'll bowl
Right.
for him to make the 100, then they'll try to make him out.
Right. Right.
No, had he
Beau-
completed his 100, the entire nation or entire, he should have satisfied. Every fan of him and the entire world should have been satisfied with the completion of his 100 on his 200th test match.
Absolutely. He was so close, yet so far, but it was a beautiful moment nonetheless. And you were there at close quarters to capture all the emotions. We are broadcasting this on Hello as well, sir. And we have Pari, Maheshwari, Hansen Raza, Kamlesh Barmar, Sifa Khan, lots of our fans who are saying hi to you. And the one question that's coming from Ajay on Hello, and Ajay is asking you, walk us through the emotions that you captured during Sachin's final test match at the Wankhede Stadium. And according to him, a lot of the pictures that you've taken do justice to the truism that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So talk to us
Yes,
about the
yes, yes.
emotions that day and how you were able to capture all of those emotions, because we took a look
I've
at the
been very
pictures and it's
closely
beautifully
following
done.
him. Excuse me. I've been very, very closely following him right from the beginning of the match. So every moment of even a smallest moment of his this one I used to capture. So out of this, he has seen the pictures from almost all the photographers who have covered uh, uh, the event, and ultimately everybody uh, came and selected this. It is not only his own decision, even his wife. and Nita Ambani and all of the people have, I mean, vociferously
Yes.
recommended this picture to be on the top of the unit mortgage.
Yes, yes. And so we have lots of questions coming in on Facebook as well. But before I move over to some of those questions, I have one thing that I definitely want to point out. This is from Sachin's recommendation, and he had mentioned this verbatim, and I found this beautiful. He said, this is him describing the way you actually click photographs and the art of photography and the way you go about doing it. And he mentioned that you are extremely non-obtrusive, allowing
Yes,
the athletes to be oblivious to the camera. I am guessing that's a skill. It's not
yes, yes, yes.
just a
We should
science, but
not
it's an art as
unnecessarily,
well. So talk to us more about
not
this skill that you
unnecessarily
have.
trouble anyone to get our things done. No, we should make it in such a way that they don't, they should only on seeing the output, they should be thrilled.
That's right, sir. That's right. Now I'll come to some of the questions that we have coming in on Facebook. We have Diva Ganeriwal, and Diva's asking you any special photos you have that you haven't published as yet.
No, no, almost everything. Yeah, maybe one or two. In Malaysia, he was hitting his bat with a nail. That's a wonderful picture. But I think some pictures I used to preserve it for myself. That didn't get published so far.
Understood. And I'll ask a similar question. So in similar vein, any pictures or any moments that you wish you had captured but you didn't quite get the chance to?
What? Can you repeat?
Any particular moments that
Uh,
you wish you had captured but
uh,
you didn't quite get the chance to, or perhaps you were only a split second late when it came to clicking?
no, it happens. It is. We can't. These are all expected and unexpected.
Yeah, understood. Then
Okay.
Aishwarya Jayaraman.
We cannot, in sports, we cannot ask them to pose or anything. Subsequently, whatever that goes, that's done. That's all. Only in the
Absolutely.
cup ceremony and all that, we may, though even then, we
Right.
won't miss it for sure
Right.
because our 200% focus will be on the subject and we'll not miss it.
Right. So how do you typically focus? Do you meditate quite a lot? What's the secret behind the focus that you have, the laser sharp focus that you have, especially during a football game, right?
I
You're watching
do,
it for 90
I
minutes.
do,
Sometimes it goes to extra time as well. So for
in
2 hours,
fact,
how are you focused?
yeah, I do meditation, I do yoga also. But it all depends on how your eagle eye towards the subject. That's all. You have to be extraordinarily, prudent and very watchful. Otherwise, you will miss the subject.
Right. And but talking about the subject, how do you identify the subject? Because on a football field, right, you have 22 players, right? Maybe one person has the ball at any particular moment in time, right? So you might not necessarily be focusing only on the person who has the ball, right? You could be
Yeah,
focusing on all the other players as well.
in the case of his last match, I was all along there, focusing on him. You know, it doesn't mean that I didn't focus the batsman or bowler, but
Right.
even while fielding, also I was focusing on something.
Right. I'm pretty sure the entire world was, 7 billion people all over the world, or at least 1.3 billion Indians were definitely focusing only on Sachin during that game against the West Indies at the Wankhede. Aishwarya Jayaraman asking you what inspired you to choose sports photography. You did talk about the fact that, you picked this up as a hobbyist. I'm guessing you would perhaps give credit to the friends of yours who gave that camera to you, right?
Coming to
Understood. Yeah.
let's switch over to Olympics.
Yes, sir. Then we have Nandini Garg as well. And she's saying people believe that sports photography is just to figure a perfect spot and just take a click. But is it that straightforward? I'm pretty sure it's not as simple as it may seem to an
No, no.
outsider.
Placing the right spot is always good, but it doesn't mean that we have to stick at one place. So when you want to take the fans, when you want to take the crowd and all that, you may have to spend some time during the in between times, tea time and all other times will come. No, that time you may have to focus on other things. Otherwise, if you have the right, see, if you choose the perfect spot, Huh? The other spot, something might happen on the other end.
Right, right,
Uh, Only we are straight on one angle. We are back at the other angle, right?
right,
Yeah?
right.
So sometimes, see, when somebody is bowled, when he is focusing when he is facing the other side of the uh, pavilion, okay. Huh?
Hmm.
So if he is bowled by some bowler, then I can get only his back shot, right? Back
Right.
of the shot. Only the cameraman in focusing, facing his front side, will get his face also.
Absolutely. And I'm guessing, sir, what is perfect and what is not perfect is oftentimes determined in hindsight, right?
Huh? What?
You talked about the perfect spot. So I'm
Uh,
guessing oftentimes what is
it can
perfect
be it
is
can be
only known in
imperfect.
hindsight.
It can be imperfect also sometimes.
Right, right.
We
And of
cannot
course,
switch, we cannot switch our position for every over, right?
right.
We have to be in
Absolutely.
the place.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know the answer to the next question, but I'll let you answer this. Here's Bala Subramaniam Mahalingam, who's saying any popular tennis stars you have
Eh,
photographed, multiple, but you can name them.
many, right from Roger Federer, Serena Williams, Venus Williams, and Wozniacki, so many, hundreds of
S-
tennis
Sa-
players.
Sa- There's Sania Mirza as well, and we have
Yes,
a
yes,
picture
yes,
that
yes,
you clicked of Sania Mirza at the U.S. Open that we're
yes,
displaying on our screens currently.
yes.
Brilliant. I did ask you this question, so I'll skip this, but I'll still put it up on the screen. Here's Kushal Palicha, who's saying personally, which is the sport you enjoy capturing the most? I
I
know you
enjoy
mentioned
all
that it's hard for you
sports.
to answer.
I enjoy all sports because I too only photograph.
Well said, sir. Well said. I believe this is a friend of
No,
yours.
I cannot
Here's
get assigned.
Yes, sir.
I cannot get assigned to a particular sporting event. In the case of Olympics, you have more than 60 disciplines of sports, right? So our aim is to get the best images, capture the best images. So whether it is tennis or cricket or whatever it is, water polo or beach volleyball, because we have to love the subject immediately on going there, and we should start taking pictures. So at that moment, our idea is to get the best picture.
Yes, sir.
So for that, we have to love the subject.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's a friend of yours, sir, Rajagopalan Ramabhadran, who's
Yes, yes.
conveying his regards to you, saying Sukumar is a dear friend of mine and he's conveying his best wishes to you.
Thank you, sir.
And sir, he has a follow up question for you as well. And he's saying, how different was it to capture sports and sporting moments before the introduction of
Yes,
DSLRs?
yes, yes. Before the introduction of the SLRs, actually it was negative, no? It is negative, positive, and so many things, black and white, like that. So during 80s, 70s, and
Yes.
80s, and we used to have three cameras at a time to have one color, one transparency, and one black and white. And now the DSLR does the work of all the three at a time. So due to the advancement in science and technology, we are able to do everything at one with one camera on the two things. If you want to convert, if you want to if you want to convert color to black and white, positive, whatever it is all done by one single DSLR. Thanks to this.
Yes, sir. Lovely. And sir, I believe you
It
have
was a
lots of.
one minute. It was a struggle those days. You have to come back, develop, and then see the thing, and then only it's all it's not in split second it gets published in the New York Times or any other place, nowadays. But it was not like that before. No, you have to take
Right.
a print, and the system of transmitting the images were totally different those days.
Absolutely.
It may take even one for 24 hours to get published. Suppose there is an event today evening, it might get published day after tomorrow morning. It was a time that now it is not there. Now in split one of yeah. The moment we capture the picture, it is published
Right.
somewhere.
Right. Right. Exactly, sir. Well said. I can't relate to that, but I can imagine everything that you're talking about. I believe you have lots of stories of encounters that you've had with superstars, sporting superstars of past as well as present. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of them, Usain Bolt as well. I would love,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure the
Yeah.
viewers as well would love to
So
hear
yes,
some of the encounters that you've had.
actually, I covered three FIFA World Cup, three. That is
Yes,
2010, 14, and 18.
yes, sir.
So I have been wanting to cover Cristiano Ronaldo during the last this one. Every time I'm missing him. So I had to travel to Russia to a place called Saransk. Actually, my flight was booked on a particular date. If I take that flight, I'll be miserably missing the uh, actions of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes,
So
sir.
I had to prepone my uh, ticket, by which I lost about 38,000 rupees. But
Oh,
still,
wow.
I managed to get an alternative flight to reach Saransk, a place, a state in Russia. But on reaching Moscow, there were some of my friends and followers on Facebook. They were
Right,
waiting for me to get the luggages transferred to them, and absolutely there was no train, bus, or any mode of transport to go reach Saransk and cover the match. That time, we went to the taxi stand, and all the taxis have left already for Saransk. Only
right,
one taxi was there with the father and son. They were about to go. They were waiting to have a cup of tea and then leave the place.
right,
I just requested them whether they can accommodate. I spoke to the driver, but he said you have to ask the uh, occupier of the taxi. Then I asked them. Then I showed my work and all that. They were very much pleased to take me. They put me on front side also. So when I reached the Saransak Stadium, where Portugal was playing actually,
right.
and it was almost 20 minutes late.
Which game was this? Who was Portugal playing, sir?
Actually, what?
Who was
Can
who
you,
was Portugal playing? Was this the game against Spain or was this some other game?
no, Portugal. Ronaldo was playing against. No, Ronaldo was for Portugal. No,
Yeah, but
that,
against which club?
against
Which team was this?
I don't remember exactly now.
Okay, carry on, sir.
I forgot actually.
Carry
It
on.
was
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. I'll tell you. Iran. It's Iran. It's
understood.
Iran
Understood.
versus Portugal. So, uh, so I managed to get into the stadium. It was very, very, very tough. That taxi fellow dropped me somewhere about 2 kilometers away from the ground. And
Right.
all the traffics were closed. So I had to walk with all my equipment. And I've been continuously calling the media department and telling them I am from India, I am coming on the I am on the way on the ground. So they were also waiting for me. So
Right.
they sent somebody outside the stadium to pick me up inside. Otherwise, I could not have entered at all. So I went there. By the time the first session started, first 45 minutes,
Yes,
there,
sir.
she said I can't enter in between, so I had to wait for the next uh, session. So till such time, 45 minutes, I was watching the match. In the next, this one only, I could enter the ground. And by the time they had allotted me a seat, and I got whatever I wanted to get of
Right.
Ronaldo. I got it in that one match, 45 minutes match. Because God was kind enough to give me all the, stunning pictures I could get of this Ronaldo.
Right.
So this is one. Like that, Messi, I've covered him a lot, but Ronaldo only, and I've covered James Rodriguez,
Yes.
Neymar, and all other this English
Yes.
person, Harry Kane. So all
Right.
others I've covered except Pogba, but only Ronaldo I want to cover as many as I
Right.
can, and I did it.
And mind if I display some of the pictures that you talked about? So here's a picture that you took of Lionel Messi. Then
Yes,
quite a few pictures, in fact, not just
yes,
one.
yes, yes, yes. These
Then
are all from some other match. I think it's between Messi. It is
yes,
not.
then Neymar as well. You talked about Neymar. Then
Yes,
we have a few of your snaps of Cristiano as well. So we'll
Ronaldo, I think I've given
Ronaldo. So this is one of them.
Ronaldo exceptionally. I mean,
This is one of them.
I
Then I
think
believe
should be there with you. Yes.
this is another one that we have Ronaldo heading the ball. I'm guessing this was probably from the first game against Iran.
Yes, yes, yes. Between Iran, Portugal and Iran.
Yes, so beautiful snaps.
After
Beautiful.
Iran lost the match, one fan from the top, he was crying like anything, that the makeup and all comes out. No, I have taken a picture of that. I think you should be having that. I got
Probably.
national recognition for that particular picture. Iran fan simply weeping because Iran lost the match to Portugal.
Right, right. Absolutely stunning. Then, of course, you've had encounters with Usain Bolt as well. You
Yes, yes,
covered
yes.
the
No,
2008
I've been
Olympics,
covering.
2012 Olympics,
I've
2016
been
Rio Games as
covering
well.
2000. Sorry, I've been covering
You,
Usain Bolt from 2008,
yeah,
and 2012. I have decided to take as much images as I can. You know, when Usain Bolt, hardly he takes only less than 10 seconds. Huh?
right,
But
right.
the amount of people want to watch his this one is more than 2 million. 2 million
That's right.
requests are there to see his. So I took a lot of pictures during 2012 Olympics at London, and I printed all the pictures and kept it. No, as I cannot print it on a bromide. Bromide means I cannot fold it. So I had to print it on a canvas so that I can roll it on and keep it without others' notice. So I kept it on my back. And when he was passing through, after after finishing his event, he was passing through the mixed zone where the media will be allowed to do some interview, especially the um, official broadcaster like Star Sports and other only can
Right.
do the media telecast. Otherwise, even photographers were not allowed to take photographs. So he just passing through after giving the interview to the official broadcaster. That's all. That time I showed the pictures that I've taken
Mhm.
during 2008 and 12. He's on seeing my pictures. He started towards me, walking
Right.
towards me.
Right.
So that was actually taken telecasted by Star Sports. So everybody was thrilled in India actually. He signed. He asked me what to do with these photographs. I said, "You can sign all the pictures." He signed all the pictures. I gave some to him. Some pictures to him. I took all the other rest of the pictures. In fact, I presented one of the pictures signed by Usain Bolt to our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi.
Fantastic, fantastic. So we touched upon Cristiano, we touched upon Usain Bolt, we talked about Sachin Tendulkar. Now I am pretty sure there are lots of people, lots of young people who want to get into photography, who might not be very happy with what they're doing. Who might have a similar story. Like you were into BCom, you studied BCom, and then you moved to photography. So if you had to perhaps give advice to people who are starting out in photography, what do you think are the hallmarks or the traits of a good photographer, and your advice to someone starting out in the profession?
No, one has to get involved in a lot of photo opportunity. He has to get. If one has to pursue the sports photography, he should get more and more. He should get involved to more and more photo opportunities. Then only he can, get experience. Experience, practice only makes a man perfect. So by doing this, he can switch on to slowly sports photography, and he has to choose the right equipment to do that. Nowadays, there are a lot of agencies hiring photographic equipment for sports. There are a lot, even in Chennai also, there are one or two agencies. Uh, at the time of IPL and all other things, they can hire the equipment, costly equipment. Like, minimum we need 400, 600 like that. and the high-end cameras. Those things are even nowadays given. So nothing can happen overnight. One has to have maximum patience. Nothing, I mean, investing today and tomorrow you cannot become rich. You have to wait
Absolutely.
for the right time and opportunity, and you know, uh, yeah, keep your nose to the grindstone. Otherwise, it cannot. One has to have patience.
Well,
So
well said, sir.
I have toiled for the last for 4 decades to come up to this level. So he has to, one has to cover all local events first, then get into some agency or some newspaper. See, nowadays, only newspapers are given accreditation for covering sports, right? That should not be there. Even a freelancer should be allowed to pursue his profession, by covering sports. When you want to cover sports, then you have to come through a newspaper, whether that newspaper is publishing or not. But you have to have get a letter from them and forward it to the appropriate authorities. So, for credentials, and you have to then only you can start taking pictures. This should be removed. Actually, in UK, USA, and Australia, freelancers are so much respected, and when you, when you sincerely do your profession by way of freelancing, even photography, they will approve. I
That's
have
right, sir.
covered the ICC World Cup as a freelancer, and I have also taken one of my friends as an assistant. See,
Understood.
in my name, they have accorded permission to another person. You can just
Right,
imagine. See, that
right.
sort of attitude should come here. Here people believe because of the population here, everybody will say that I'm a freelancer, give my permission. Then the ground cannot withstand the. That is why they are hesitant.
That's right, sir. And you spoke about sincerity, you spoke about honesty, you spoke about patience as well. And I think patience is definitely key. I have to keep reminding myself that it takes 10 years to become an overnight success, as they say. You spoke a bit about equipment as well, right? Here's Santosh Anand Lad, who's asking you, what is your favorite camera gear, sir?
I am using 1DX Mark III sir, at present. That has been released a few months back only. Before that, I was using 1DX Mark II, and earlier I was using 1DX Canon.
Understood.
Here I
Understood.
would like to mention. May I take a minute?
Yes,
Actually,
sir.
I am apart from taking pictures, I conduct photo exhibitions,
Hmm.
and I impart vocational training for the underprivileged by way of conducting some vocational training programs in colleges like Pondicherry University, Anna University, like that. So when I conduct exhibitions and impart this vocational training programs, many corporates come and help me. I should thank them because uh, NLC, Navy and Retail Corporation, India Cements, Sundaram Finance, ONGC, IOCL, BPCL, HPCL, and Air India. So many have actually have been uh, sponsoring me for all my activities, either in abroad as well as in India.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You also spoke about how you started off as a freelancer, right? Especially the
Yes,
World Cup that you covered was as a freelancer, Cricket World Cup. Are
yes,
you
yes.
referring to the? Are you
2015,
referring to the
Australia, 2015,
Undis-
Australia, New Zealand.
15 World
I
Cup?
covered it as a freelancer only, but I did not take any letter from anybody. But people are willing to give, I can, so as of now, United News of India is helping me a great, you know, helping me a lot.
Right,
I
sir.
apply on their this one, so I get it done.
Understood.
See, the
You
editor
you
of United News of India is always he always lends his hand in times of if I have to go through a news agency or newspaper, there are a lot of people. Yeah.
Yes.
And, it is because uh, I've been, I've come up to this level. That is why. But for
Right.
a freelancer, you just imagine how he has to struggle to get into this. See, suppose
Absolutely.
a freelancer is there who wants to become a sports photographer. He wants to cover, unless he covers sporting events, he cannot become a sports photographer.
That's right.
How will he cover? He has to
That's
depend on some newspaper, right? Huh? So those newspapers will have their own photographers to cover. They will not allow him to do so. All these things all these struggles I have come across in life and life.
So you also covered the under 19 cricket World Cup
Yes,
2007
yes, yes.
2008.
First one.
That's the one India won, right? Virat
Yes,
Kohli
yes,
captain
yes.
side.
I have a lot of pictures of Virat Kohli right from his inception into Indian cricket. I did.
Any encounters that you remember with Virat Kohli? Have you been up close and personal with him? Have you had a word with him?
Yes,
Has
yes.
he
I
taken a look at
have
any of your
spoken to
photographs?
him even in ICC World Cup during this England, which happened in England recently. I
Right.
did that. So I had met him actually. So I had taken pictures of Virat Kohli playing football actually.
Okay.
And, I have taken his autograph also on that.
I'm
Like,
surprised. I
also,
I I I I thought you would say Virat Kohli took your autograph.
huh? No, no,
I thought.
yes, no. Virat Kohli, these other people, a lot of people will be happy when they get it.
Great, great. So a couple of
I
closing
have
questions.
covered Dhoni also playing football in Trent England. That was in I think, 2010. I think. Then or no. Yeah, tell me please.
Yes, sir. A couple of closing questions. So one of them, so how do you actually attain an accreditation to cover the Olympic Games, to cover the ICC Cricket World Cups? Is there an application process? Do you have to
Yes,
perhaps submit your work? How does
this
it
is
work?
done. This is done by Indian Olympic Associations.
Okay.
We have to go through a news agency or paper. And I have been covering from 2006 Asian Games, Olympics, and all other this one. Only IOA decides who has to cover for India. Only IOA decides. Finally. And for the upcoming Tokyo Olympics, I've done everything actually. I had even paid for my hotel. But now, fortunately, I did not book the ticket only because expecting Japan to, open, I mean, this airlines. So I was waiting for some more time to book the ticket. Otherwise, I booked the hotel 1 year in advance. So I paid a lot of money for that. But anyway, it won't go waste. We can always use it for that. They were
Right.
so desperate to conduct the Tokyo Olympics. They were all fully prepared. But unfortunately, because of this China,
Right.
so
Right.
that is why Tokyo is so angry with China because of China they couldn't conduct this. No, it's a huge game. No, it's a very huge event, and
Right.
you can imagine the amount of sponsors, this, that, and all that. No? In some places, even the qualification round got cut because of this COVID. So one has to finish his qualification round and enter into Olympics, right? Yes, to enter into Olympics, to get selected to Olympics, one has to finish other qualification round happening around the world, right? So many events have abruptly got cut because of this COVID.
Right. But hopefully we can see the Olympics sooner rather than later. If not this year, maybe 2021, and maybe One Play Sports, can come cover it as well. If not the upcoming Olympics, then maybe sometime in 2024 or 2028, and
Yeah,
maybe we can meet each other as well. The
whenever it
the
happens, I definitely go back.
right, right. The
Absolutely.
the last question, I have to give the last question to our most loyal fan of One Play Sports, Aishwarya Jayaraman. She's number one in terms of who the most loyal is. After that, in second position we have Broad Daylight, and then we have number 3, 4, so on and so forth. But Aishwarya Jayaraman asking you, how do you manage your emotions during crunch moments that involve your
I,
favorite teams?
I don't cover only the sporting event. I'll be very keenly watching about the winner and the loser. We get emotions from both, right?
Hmm.
It is not only the winner, the loser also emits lots of emotions. You must have seen a picture of mine. I have taken a picture of the winner and the loser. That is of Helen. One is Helen from USA in
Mm-hmm.
53 freestyle wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Asoda from uh, Japan.
Yes,
This
sir.
Asoda has been a champion for more than 13 years. She has been a champion for 13 years. You can imagine. 3 Olympics, she has been winning the gold medal. So three
Right.
consecutive Olympics. Okay, you can imagine London, Beijing, London, Rio, right? Like that.
Right.
No,
Right.
maybe much before that. So unfortunately, she was beaten by a new entrant from USA. Her name is Helen. So what happened? She couldn't control her emotions. She was totally weeping. In this one, she didn't even put up her head. It was down only all the time, crying, crying. So the Helen was going through the venue in jubilant mood. I mean, with extraordinary this one. Huh? So
Mm-hmm.
I had covered both in one picture. The contrast emotions of the winner and the loser.
Right.
So for this picture only, I got a gold medal out of 5,579 entries from 46 countries. I got a gold medal from USA. So I covered both. In fact, I'll be very keenly watching on both this one. We don't know at the last minute, no, what we may not know what will happen. So we have to be, very watchfully focusing on both sides.
Right. 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 So you mentioned that you like covering every single sport, right? But who is your
Uh,
favorite? Who is your favorite athlete? Any athletes that you like a lot apart from Sachin? Your favorite athlete? Your favorite team that you support? Favorite club?
I like everyone. If you like only, you get a good picture.
So and your
See,
favorite?
you should love your profession, right? You should love your profession. You should love your subject. So when you are with Usain Bolt, you should love him. Then only you will get good picture. When you are with Sachin, you have to love him. It's like that. So whether it is, huh? Even suppose suppose India and Pakistan plays, okay? Huh? I should, if I want to get a good picture, I may have to love Pakistan also. That's it.
Right.
Only for
Right.
getting a good picture, not for other things.
Then, sir,
It's
sir,
like that.
is
Huh?
it safe to say? Is it safe to say, since you're with me right now, you love me, and I'm your favorite interviewer, since you're with me right now?
Yes, yes, of course you are.
And sir, I'll repay the compliment. You're my favorite interview as well, since you're with me right now.
Thank you. Hope to meet you again.
Fantastic. Likewise, sir. Likewise, and hopefully, we can meet in person. You spoke about the testing times that we're all experiencing as a result of
There are
the
so
the
many.
coronavirus.
If you have time, I can tell some more also.
So,
I
so
used to
any.
cover WTA. I used to cover WTA. In that, Wozniacki was fed up. She was
Mhm.
beaten by another her opponent.
Mhm.
So she's throwing a racket on the ground. No, the picture I've taken. Like that, Sania Mirza did the same thing in 2006 Asian Games at Doha. She was warned, actually. It's not truly right. This one like this, emotions. So this happened in Singapore, that happened in Doha. So, I was, very watchful, so I could get, her ferocious, action of
Right.
beating her racket on the ground. So it stood like this.
Right.
See? So all this one, you must have seen my WTA
I've
picture
seen that.
also.
I've seen that, sir. Yes,
Just
I've seen that.
that is Caroline Wozniacki. I love her so much. She does very well, but she was beaten up by another Osaka, Japan.
Right,
Lady
right.
has smashed everybody.
That's right. That's right.
Osaka, there is one more. She's a very upcoming. Osaka is a very extremely upcoming tennis. The another one is also there. There are hot.
Were you there at the final? I think this was the U.S. Open, right? When Naomi Osaka beat Serena
No,
Williams in the
no,
final.
no. I'm telling you about WTA. You are talking about USA.
No, no. A separate question. Separate question that I'm asking you
Yes,
because
yes.
I know you've covered the U.S. Open as well.
I was not there
Okay.
during
That's
that US Open where
right.
Osaka
Right.
was playing. I was not.
I see. Because Serena Williams had that famous or infamous, I should say,
Yeah,
tirade at the umpire where she
yeah,
had
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
outburst,
She
and
was
of course that
also
made the headlines.
yes, yes. That I could watch only in the TV.
Makes sense.
You
Makes sense.
know, these veterans, they don't realize sometimes, there will be somebody will be coming to beat them one day. They have to get prepared. This happened in the
Right.
case of Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. Remember
Yes.
when
Yes.
Rafael Nadal bet this Roger Federer? What happened? He was weeping throughout. No, at one point of time, Nadal said, "Had I known about this, I would have given the cup to you." So that was the situation. Now he is all right. After that, no, he is all right.
Right.
So all other one is the same thing happened as I told you this Asoda and Helen of this 53 kg freestyle Rio Olympics that wrestling. The same thing happened with Roger Federer and Nadal. Rafael Nadal. You must have seen that this one. Roger Federer was totally he broke down, and only Rafael Nadal has to pacify him.
Right. Right.
So
Brilliant,
it
sir.
happens everywhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We definitely were I was sitting in a very privileged position, and so were all the viewers, because we got a chance to listen into some of the very captivating stories that you've collected, as part of your repertoire, covering sports, covering every single sport, every single major tournament over the course of the last 40 plus years, and you definitely have a lot of pedigree, a lot of work. That backs your ability, and I'm extremely lucky to have actually had a chance to see the 250 plus photographs that you shared with us prior to the chat. And this is definitely not the only time that we'll have you on our One Play Sports Networks. I'm pretty sure we'll do many such conversations, not just virtually, but in person as well, in the near future as well as the distant future.
Had you given me some more time, I would have got prepared so many illustrations and so many this one for you. But unfortunately, you gave me only, I mean, absolutely not even 5-6 hours of time, no. So I had to search pictures according to this one. Otherwise, what
So
really,
we'll definitely give you a heads up, a nice window before we do the next one, and I'm pretty sure we'll do another one
yes,
in the near future.
you give me
So
at least
we'll
48 hours time so that I will prepare. I'll get
abs-
prepared with all the stunning pictures which you can show it.
absolutely,
Simultaneously,
sir.
when I talk about Usain Bolt, we can show Usain Bolt. Like the Roger Federer, Asarenka, whoever it is, Wozniacki, Serena Williams. You can see. Yeah, I think I've given even Serena Williams and others.
Yes, yes, yes,
Like
yes, sir.
that, every, for one, viewer has asked about emotions, You could
Yes,
have, you could have shown like this 100 pictures of emotions of
yes, sir.
different.
Yes, sir. We only had so much time to capture the images that we captured, but as I mentioned to you, in the future, whenever we have similar such conversations, we'll pick other such photographs that you shared with us. And I think in order for us to actually be able to do justice to all
Yes,
the brilliant work that you've done, I think we have to meet in person as well, and perhaps discuss some of these photographs with you in person. I think that would be the cherry on the cake.
correct.
Fantastic, sir. Brilliant. Lovely chatting with you.